Hey everybody, it's Chugga Conroy, and welcome to everything we haven't seen in Paper Mario. Coming up first is some concept art of Parakarry and Lackluster. No other early concept art of Paper Mario has ever been released to the public because they were never that open about Paper Mario's development. A lot more material was shared during the Super Mario RPG 2 phase of development, and very little was ever seen after the transition. That's one of the things I'd like to see rectified the most in a re-release. Release more official artwork online or in an art book. You did it for Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask when those got remastered for the 3DS. This game stands as a beacon of the N64 alongside those. Come on. As development progressed, art director Kazuyuki Kurashima drew these pictures of concepts of Super Mario RPG 2. These were finally shared with the public last year on his Instagram account, showing isometric perspectives as well as Link and Samus as characters. Moving on to the game content itself, the slot machine in Shy Guy's toy box. We are able to attack that and play the slots in the middle of battle. I've never known this or thought to try it, but it's clever. Bowser has a rare attack that we never saw, Lightning. This hits for 10 damage and is probably his hardest attack to block. Here's the thing that I just forgot to grab. We know that there's a life shroom in Peach's castle because we see it on the upper level of the library early on when we hear about Tubba Blubba. If we were to come back as Mario, he can hop up these books and go up there and grab it. I just didn't do it. Mario has lots of poses for the game over screen, 5 in total. You're unlikely to use group focus enough to see every party member's praying sprite. Here they are, wishing for more sequel cameos. These are some of my favorite sprites, probably of all time, yet so remote. I love just how expressive they wanted everyone to be. You didn't see this in a lot of N64 games. We're gonna leave Bowser's castle for this next point. Star Spirit buttholes! The fire pop causes Mario to stick out his tongue in the field when it hurts him. So the sprite does work in the field and is present in RAM, but the dried shroom doesn't do this unless it's in battle. The fire pop is the only item with this property. Could be a mistake. Oh no, I'm lacking a little bit of FP. Whatever will I do? I know, how about I use my Electro Pop and recover 15 FP? Watch my FP very closely. $15. But I have 32 FP now. Says it recovered 15 FP, but it doesn't. What gives? It turns out this restores Mario's FP relative to his HP stat minus 10. I mean, I'm not really that bothered by it. This isn't an item that I really use, but I mean, I don't like it when the game lies to me. Strange cake. I promised that I would use it. I never did. What was in my edible the entire time? Oh. I'm electrically charged for 1 extra turn. That's all it was. These coins on the floor of Crystal Palace's Clubba's room give 2 coins instead of just 1. My guess is that originally the reflection of Mario in the mirror would have been able to collect coins, and they went back on this due to it doubling the resources to render, and they forgot to change the numbers back in this room with how they were achieving that effect. Also in the Crystal Palace is this humorous moment where all of the clones pick you up and tell you, "Among Us!" Now we move on to the unused content. They wrote ending text for the prologue that's never used, implying that it would have had an end of chapter scene that we never got. The Goomba King blocked the way to Toad Town, but Mario was just able to overthrow him. Now he'll be able to proceed to Shooting Star Summit where he's been told the Star Spirit will meet him. But what could this important thing that the Star Spirits claim is essential to save Princess Peach be? With unease and anticipation in his heart, Mario sets his sights on Shooting Star Summit. It's cute enough, but it was cut for a reason. It just doesn't fit. Unused is a Dark Paratroopa. Seems to have been cut extremely late in development because it has Goombario text that was localized into English, and this enemy was used in the sequel to this game. This is a Dark Paratroopa. Dark Paratroopas are paratroopers who live in Toad Town tunnels. Max HP 8, attack power 3, defense power 2. Hammer attacks won't work because they're airborne. They'll lose their wings if you jump on them. They'll become Dark Koopas when they fall, but be careful, they'll do a dizzy attack once they're grounded. They sort of lack their main gimmick when they're in the air, implying why they might have just been viewed as unnecessary. Unused partners. Many of these didn't get very far, having no graphics, and are only referenced in the system for managing your partner's upgrades. There's mention of Goompa being a full-blown partner with rank upgrades. Other unused partners include Ninja Boy, whose ability is lowering blocks, Red, who I would guess is a red Yoshi, Chain Chomp, which, while we have no ability for them, we have seen a Chain Chomp partner in an early beta of Paper Mario's Sticker Star, and it's possible the same idea existed this far back. Then lastly is Bandit, a partner we know nothing about what could have been. When visiting Luigi for the first time, he'll introduce himself to Goombario and they have a little exchange. But what would happen if you gave Luigi his lot in life and didn't go check to see if he was okay for a really, really long time? Every partner has a special exchange with Luigi, and some of this text is extremely remote. Okay, really it's more every partner up to Prerelease has a conversation with him. Starting with Bo, it's not an exchange at all, but still, they thought of this. As we shift to talking about the Paper Mario beta, the menus originally had this horrid tartan look. Ugh, thank God they changed this. You'll be seeing a lot of this in the upcoming images. You have been warned. There's several undefined items and badges that just use the present sprite from Mayor Penguin's house and have no apparent effect, such as Shell Crack, sounding like some kind of defense down move, but it's really just 6 FP to use your normal hammer attack. Many of these were probably items that never got far into being coded before getting cut. Initiation is a beautiful badge of a cherry blossom with no known effect. If you can find out what this does, I would love to know. One of the most well-known cut badges is Anger's Power. For 8 badge points, Mario gains a Berserk status that increases attack power by 2, but he acts on his own. His actions are essentially random, so he will sometimes jump on spiked enemies. It's a pretty unfun badge. They're rewarding you for not playing the game. It'd be another thing if an enemy had some kind of venom that made Mario this way for a couple of turns. That could be fun. Losing Mario's turn would hurt, but it could lead to hype moments where he does cool stuff with his increased power. Several more badges have no known image, BP cost, or FP cost, so let's hear about those. Mega Smash, while not unused, it might as well be, but seriously, it's an upgrade of Power Smash from all that time ago, but there was originally going to be an in-between badge, making this a line of 3. Bagon Smash would have been 4 FP to do +3 damage in a single hit. I looked up if Bagon is a word, and the only thing that came up is this and the Pokemon. Could these two localization teams have individually written this name out in English, both for the first time? And yep, there's a Bagon jump to match what would have gone between Power Jump and Mega Jump. There's many badges that allowed spending FP to skip doing the action command and have it always turn out perfect. Automatic jumps, automatic hammers, automatic multi-bounce, and even automatic battles. We end on 2 unknown badges that have no name. I dub the Happy Sun and Boring Jump. Here are rapid fire badges that only exist as Japanese text and were not programmed in. Goompa Summon, Bob-Bomb Summon, Shrink Smash X, not the same as regular Shrink Smash, another unused badge. Alter Ego creates a fake Mario, making it so attacks will miss him half the time. Yoke Yoke and Yoke Yoke Yokeru are likely automatic blocking. Sub in for partner lets Mario transform into one of his party members. There's also an item version of this known as the Transformation Cane. Upper Hammer is a hammer attack that hits flying enemies. Jump Return and Hammer Return are dodging attacks with jumping and hammering like in Mario and Luigi, complete with counter-attacking. And Painful Jump. There's no other text associated with it, so unfortunately, your creepypastas about how one day Mario put on a cursed badge and broke his kneecaps will have to do. Now for the unused items. One is the Hustle Drink, which cures status effects on Mario and makes him attack twice next turn, making him immune to status for that duration as well. A lot of fan games latched onto this item because it's neat. Another unused item is Please Come Back. Theatrics removed, it says that it calls back removed party members. Some theories say that party members might have been killable in the original build and this was a live stream for them. My personal theory is that it's a debugging item before they got party members' AI good at following Mario. Using items on partners was a whole thing though. If we hack this functionality back in, the mushroom recovers their knockdown status for up to 5 turns. Life Shroom recovers them for up to 10 turns. Super Soda seemingly does nothing. How fitting. But my guess is that it would have healed statuses if they could have been inflicted with them. And Tasty Tonic, strangely, fully heals the party member no matter how many turns they've been knocked down. I want to be forward for sake of documentation that starting now, I'm going to be showing sprites that were likely meant for unused items, but there is no known code that corresponds them to these items, so I'm using what I assume their sprites were meant to be. Don't accept these as 100% fact. Here's an invincibility star. It lasts for 3 turns, raises Mario's attack by 1, and damages enemies who touch Mario by 1. Probably a leftover from Super Mario RPG. Every RPG should have this mechanic. Parasol blocks ranged attacks automatically for 5 turns. Could have been amazing against certain enemies. Insurance against General Guy's laser or the Crystal King's freeze ray. Magic Mirror reflects enemies' attacks for 3 turns. Here's lots of other generic unused items. Their uses are anyone's guess. Just like how Mario had no hammer at the start, they bothered to program a state where he has no boots. Sorry, no foot picks this time. He looks the same and it only prevents him from first striking with a jump and using a jump during battle. Strange thing to bother with programming in, and this has never been a thing otherwise. Can we stop for a moment and talk about how many of these unused concepts would go on to excel in the sequel, in Super Paper Mario, and even Mario and Luigi? It shows they really knew what they were doing and had a clear direction if so many great ideas from those games were planned out this far in advance and were that good. After defeating enemies, the game loads an unused heart container graphic alongside the coins, hearts, and flowers enemies leave behind. Early on in development, this game didn't use numbers for health and was a lot more like Zelda's health system. It's likely enemies or bosses would sometimes drop health upgrades, or that increasing max health was more of a temporary thing and had to be maintained with more heart containers once earlier ones broke. The game was given an unused instruction to play the ending screen music at double speed. It's just funny, because why would anyone make this? A lot of other songs have versions that start late or end early and are otherwise the same. I don't think we need to hear them. Unused sprite of Peach kissing somebody, likely Mario, but there's a chance it could be Twink. He was a real hero. While not technically unused, but nearly impossible to see, by advancing the story to Chapter 8 and then coming back to Toad Town, Sushi has a letter that is not present in the ending at all. A letter from Raphael the Raven. Dear Sushi, you followed Mario, didn't you? How are you doing? I never expected you to go with him. I want to hear about you, Mario, and everything else. So why don't you come to see me when you finish traveling? If you have a hard time climbing the tree, I'll come down for you. Raphael the Raven. P.S. Is there anything you want to eat? I'll make anything. Raphael the Raven is a good cook. Men who cook are awfully rare, ladies. Just thought you'd like to know. Here's a fun trick you can do. Dizzy attack an enemy, and while the enemy's dizzy, die on turn 1. Watch the game's intro, and the enemy in front will be dizzy. The game's confused, not knowing that we aren't still in the battle that we were. And yes, this even means that we get to see Dizzy inflicted on Tubba Blubba. Because Tubba Blubba can't take his turn, this scene is stuck here forever and we can't get out of it unless we skip the intro. And that is everything that we haven't seen so far. Thank you so much for watching, and I guess I'll see you in the next video.